Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my continental Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Asian Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my European Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Canadian Africans and Australian Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Central and South American Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Caribbean Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my American Africans. Las Vegas, I am here. Las Vegas, I am here. Las Vegas, I am here. Black Nevada, I am here. Black Nevada, I am here. Black Nevada, I am here. Pan-Africanism yesterday, Pan-Africanism today, Pan-Africanism tomorrow, Pan-Africanism by any means necessary. I have a special message for Black parents. I'm only going to keep you about 10 minutes. I have a special message for Black parents. I'm only going to keep you about 10 minutes. I have a special message for Black parents. I'm only going to keep you about 10 minutes. First of all, hit the Cash App, $Fdmg School. Hit the Cash App, $Fdmg School. Hit the Cash App, $Fdmg School. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Send those checks and money orders to the FDMG Academy, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. Send those checks and money orders to P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. Las Vegas, I'm speaking here tonight. Black History Month keynote, West Las Vegas Public Library. Tonight, February 18th, 7 p.m. Doors open up at 6. Doors open up at 6 p.m. tonight. Saturday night's main event, West Las Vegas Library. I want my Reno, Nevada Africans to pull up. I want my Las Vegas Africans to pull up. I want my Phoenix Africans, my Salt Lake City Africans, my Los Angeles Africans, my Portland and Seattle Africans. I want all my West Coast Africans to pull up tonight. West Las Vegas Public Library. Doors open up at 6. To Black parents, I need you to hear me really well. Black parents, I need you to hear me really well. Black parents, I need you to hear me very well. Black boys are not given the right to be boys. Black boys are not given the right to be boys. White supremacy views all black males as grown men. They will be treated like grown men. They will be prosecuted like grown men. It is important for black parents to understand all black males, be they 5, 15, 30, 50, all black males are treated as men. Black boys are not allowed to be children in this country. This applies for South Africa. This applies for all of Europe. This applies to Canada, Australia, all of us who live in a predominant European society. Black boys are not allowed to be children. Understand. I'm bringing this up because we are seeing record numbers of black boys being suspended and expelled from school. I want to focus on the expulsion. I want to focus on the expulsion. I want to focus on the expulsions. Black boys are being expelled for making threats on school property, threats to teachers and staff, threats to fellow students. Your son cannot afford to do that. We contribute to this expulsion crisis against black boys. We contribute to the expulsion crisis against black boys. We as black parents contribute to the expulsion crisis against black boys because we do not teach our sons discipline. We do not teach our sons discipline. We do not teach our sons discipline. So we contribute to the expulsion crisis against black boys because our sons go to school. Our sons go to school. Our sons go to school and they expect to get away with the same offenses that they commit in the household. Let me say that again. The black household is supposed to be a training ground where the black boy learns to survive white supremacy. The black household is supposed to be a training ground where the black boy learns to survive white supremacy. But because of the absence of fathers and because of the poor availability of black men in the black community, let's just be honest, most black men have abandoned the black community. Let's just be honest. Most black men have abandoned the black community. So there's no one there to teach black boys the critical importance of self-discipline, self-control, and self-mastery. No one teaches them that. He does what he wants with his mother. He does what he wants with his grandmother. He does what he wants with his auntie. He does what he wants with his sister. And then he gets in school. And the first time he messes up, white folks put the lynch rope around his neck. He does what he wants with his mother. He does what he wants with his grandmother. He does what he wants with his auntie. He does what he wants with his sister. He gets away with everything he does. And then he goes to school, and the first time he does something wrong, snow bunnies will lynch his ass. They will lynch his ass on the first offense. So I'm telling every black parent in America, you better start teaching your son to control his mouth, control his behavior, control his emotions. I don't care if he's 3 years old. I don't care if he is 3 years old. If that 3-year-old black boy, tells that teacher he going to shoot her in the face, if that 3-year-old black boy tells that principal, I'm going to blow up the school, 3 years old, he will be expelled from getting an education for the rest of his childhood. 3, 5, 7, 10, it don't matter. Black boys cannot get away with the mistakes of white boys. But the problem is the black community is not training its sons. The black community is not training its sons to be disciplined so they can survive racism. We are literally setting our boys up for academic executions in public school. We are literally setting our boys up for academic executions in public school. We are literally setting our sons up for academic executions in public school. We must do better. Tell your son to keep his mouth shut. Tell your son you don't threaten anybody. Tell your son don't take any pictures of other students that could be considered bullying or child pornography. Don't take any pictures of any student that could be considered bullying or child pornography. If they put it on their social media, if they take a picture of another kid being embarrassed and put it on the social media, they will be expelled for cyberbullying. 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 They will be expelled. If your son don't listen to you, take his phone away. If your daughter don't listen to you, take the phone away. You can't afford to get those children expelled because you're not teaching discipline. Okay? Even if they get into a fight away from school, even if they get into a fight away from school on the weekend, during vacation, If that fight involves children who attend that school, the school can take jurisdiction over that incident. Let me say it again. Your son beats up another kid on the weekend at the Gallery Mall. Your son beats up another kid on the weekend at the Gallery Mall. Because this was a school-related incident, your son can be expelled or suspended by the school. They are literally throwing black boys out of school for disciplinary infractions. I'm getting phone calls from black mothers and fathers every day. It is a Holocaust. It is a Holocaust. We got an ADHD Holocaust in the schools. We got a psychiatric medication Holocaust in the school. We got an intellectual disability Holocaust, special ed Holocaust. Now we got an expulsion Holocaust. Now we got an expulsion Holocaust. Y'all better get with these children. Letting your son do what he wants is a setup for academic lynching by the classroom snow bunny teacher. Letting your son do what he wants is a setup for an academic lynching by the snow bunny teacher. Keep on going. We are playing right into their hands. We are playing right into their hands. We are playing right into their hands. Undisciplined black males. And undisciplined black males is a white male's paradise. An undisciplined black male is a white male's paradise. An undisciplined black male is the American dream. Understand, overstand, and understand. Understand, overstand, and understand. Las Vegas, I am here. It's going down tonight. West Las Vegas Public Library. West Las Vegas Public Library. West Las Vegas Public Library, 7 o'clock. Doors open up at 6. West Coast Africans pull up. Next weekend, we got Paterson, New Jersey. Saturday, February the 25th, Paterson, New Jersey, Masonic Temple, Black Business Expo, 11 to 7. Paterson, New Jersey, Masonic Temple, Black Business Expo, 11 to 7. I speak at 3. Sunday, February 26th, Newark, New Jersey. Sunday, February 26th, Newark, New Jersey, Island AME Church. Island AME Church, 56 19th Ave in Newark. Island AME Church, 56 19th Ave in Newark. 10 a.m. sermon. 10 a.m. sermon, Pastor Ifatunde. Pastor Ifatunde. Pastor Ifatunde. Island AME Church, Sunday, February the 26th, 10 a.m. Awakening the Black Christ within the African race. Reawakening the Black Christ within the African race. Brothers and sisters, when are we going to organize and when are we going to institutionalize? The weaknesses of African people is we do not organize and we do not institutionalize. The weakness of African people, we do not organize and we do not institutionalize. We don't come together for anything relevant and we don't build institutions for anything relevant. We don't come together for anything relevant and we don't build institutions for anything relevant. We will march, we will play, we will vote, we will YouTube, we will TikTok, we will Instagram, we will party, we will celebrate, We will buy. We will enjoy ourselves. We will drink. We will club. We will watch the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals. We will get our master's degrees. We will get our doctorate degrees. We will open up our barbershops and open up our restaurants, but we will not organize and we will not institutionalize. We will not come together to fight the fights that need to be fought, and we will not come together and use our money to build nothing. I don't want to hear another Negro bring up Black Wall Street. I don't want to hear another Negro bring up Black Wall Street. I don't want to hear another Negro bring up Black Wall Street again. I'm sick and tired of you Negroes talking about Black Wall Street, but you are not interested in building a Black Wall Street. Stop bringing up Tulsa, Oklahoma. Stop bringing up Tulsa, Oklahoma. Stop bringing up Rosewood, Florida. Stop bringing up Wilmington, North Carolina. Stop bringing up Charleston, South Carolina. If you're not going to build a Black Wall Street, stop bringing it up. Tulsa was 102 years ago. 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 Do you realize we have more disposable income today? We have 20 times as much disposable income today than we had during Tulsa. We have 20 times the disposable income today than we had in Tulsa. We have 20 times the disposable income today. More millionaires, more billionaires, but I'm not going to put it on them because I know they don't care. I'm not going to talk about the millionaires and the billionaires because I know they don't care. I'm not going to talk about the millionaires and the billionaires because I know they don't care. How many relevant institutions has Puffy Combs built for the Black community? 0. How many relevant institutions has LeBron James built for the Black community? 0. How many relevant institutions has Sean Carter built for the Black community? 0. How many relevant institutions has Tyler Perry built for the Black community? 0. How many relevant institutions has Bob Johnson built for the Black community? 0. So it's no need to talk about millionaires and billionaires because they don't care. The Black millionaire and billionaire consider themselves a separate group. I'm talking about middle-class Blacks, working-class Blacks, college-educated Blacks. We don't do any more than the millionaires and billionaires do. So stop talking about millionaires and billionaires when you don't do nothing yourself. Stop talking about millionaires and billionaires when you don't do nothing yourself. Hospitals, banks, schools, supermarkets, manufacturing and distribution. Hospitals, banks, schools, supermarkets, manufacturing and distribution. Hospitals, banks, supermarkets, schools, manufacturing, and distribution. When are we going to have that conversation? NAACP has the Image Awards. NAACP has the Image Awards. I want to ask a question to the NAACP. I want to ask a question to the NAACP. I want to ask a question of the NAACP. How do you have millions for the Image Awards, but we have unemployed Black men in these streets? How do you have millions of dollars for an NAACP Image Awards when you have millions of unemployed Black men? You have homeless Black people living on the street, single mothers with children with no roof over their head, but you got millions of dollars for an NAACP Image Awards. Do we not have enough awards already? Do we not have enough awards? We got the Source Awards. We got the Soul Train Awards. We got the BET Awards. the Emmys, the Grammys, the AMAs, the MTVs. Why do we need an NAACP Image Awards? Why do we need that? No disrespect to anyone who has received an award. No disrespect to anyone who has received an award. But I'm speaking institutionally of the NAACP. With all the problems black people have, how do you find time to waste millions on an award show? That's black people's problem. We keep on rewarding each other for not dealing with our real problems. That's black people's problem. We keep on rewarding each other for not dealing with our real problems. When are we going to start rewarding people who tackle real problems? We want to celebrate careers. I have no problem with you celebrating people who had a good career, but I want to celebrate people who are fighting for justice. You need an NAACP Justice Award, Street Warriors Award. Reward the people who are fighting for justice. I don't give a damn about how many points you scored in the NBA. I don't give a damn about how many albums you sold that went platinum. What are you doing to change the trajectory? What are you doing to change the trajectory? What are you doing to change the trajectory of Black America? Because the trajectory right now, this is mathematics. This is political mathematics. Economic disorganization. Economic disorganization, political exploitation equals racial extermination. This is mathematics. Let's look at the trajectory, Las Vegas. Let's look at the trajectory, Las Vegas. Let's look at the trajectory. Economic disorganization, political exploitation by the Democrats equals racial extermination. Now they got our kids getting surgeries. Genital self-mutilation is now a civil right for children. Genital sex mutilation is now a civil right for children. Genital sex mutilation is now a right. If a child wants to mutilate their genitalia, if a boy wants to castrate himself, if a girl wants to castrate her ovaries, she can now do it. It's a civil right. It's a civil right. Genital self-mutilation is now a civil right that children have. The European insanity machine has convinced black people that your child knows at 10 years old what they want to be at 30. We have been convinced by the enemies of African civilization. We have been convinced by the enemies of African civilization that a 10-year-old black boy knows what he wants to be at 30 years old. And if your 10-year-old tells you, I want to have genital self-mutilation surgery, you better let me do it, or I will go to school and complain that you are denying me my sexual rights to reassign my gender. Mommy and daddy, you are denying me my sexual rights to reassign my gender. And black people are all in on it because whatever Caucasians want to do, whatever the Caucasian says is okay. Whatever the social slave master, whatever society's slave master has to say, we automatically co-sign it. Somebody asked me, will you be getting accreditation at Fdmg? Will Fdmg be seeking accreditation? It is the state that runs education. It is the state that gives you the license to operate. Accreditation is a voluntary process. Why would I, Dr. Umar Fdmg, why would I go to a white organization and ask them to evaluate my black school for black children? Why would I go to white people and ask them to approve my black school for black children? Why would a free-thinking black man do that? We will not be seeking accreditation for anybody. If you need accreditation, find you a school that has been validated by the white accreditation organizations. But don't send your child to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy expecting a white stamp of approval. I will not be soliciting any white stamps of approval. And what I find interesting from you Negroes, what I find very interesting from you Negroes, public school been failing black children. Public school been failing black children for 70 years. Public school been failing black children for 70 years. You haven't once asked the school district who accredited them. You haven't once asked them for a curriculum review. You haven't once asked them for the budget. So for 70 years, nationally, public school been failing black children and the black community hasn't asked a word. But soon when a black man opens a black school, the first of its kind in American history, you need a 5,000-page report on why you should send your son. First of all, we will not be recruiting students. I want to be absolutely clear now. We will not be recruiting students. You will apply, you will be evaluated, and we will decide if you and your family are the right fit for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. I want to be absolutely clear. And as a parent of the Fdmg Academy, you will have responsibilities. And if you fail in your responsibilities to the Fdmg Academy, your child will be removed and another child from the waiting list that will be down the street and around the corner will take your child's place. We need a new way of thinking. We need a new way of acting. We need a new way of behaving. We need a new way of becoming. The worst thing black people can do in this 21st century, the worst thing black people can do in this 21st century is emulate the way the white man does things. Because guess what? He hasn't solved any of his problems either. He just happens to be in control. He just happens to run the institutions. He just happens to be the controller of opportunities and wealth. But make no mistake, he hasn't solved none of his problems either. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So if the black man simply wants to be a bootleg white man, if the black woman simply wants to be a bootleg white woman, if you want your black son to be a bootleg white man, if you want your black daughter to be a bootleg black white woman, a carbon copy of a failed civilization. The new black America will be a carbon copy of the old white America. Are we serious? Are we serious? We want the new black America to be a bootleg copy of the old white America, and we will call it progress. And we will call it progress. Do you realize one of the most difficult things I've had to train black people to understand about the philosophy and opinions of Dr. Umar Ifatunde Oguntade? One of the toughest things I've had to get black people to understand about me is I don't care what the white man thinks. I don't care what his research shows. I don't care what his premises are. I am a free thinking black man. I think outside of the white box. And if you want to work at Fdmg, you better learn how to think outside the white box. And if you want your children to go to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, you better learn how to think outside the white box. The problem with black people is they never give a thought to getting out the white box. 400 years later, and we are still in the white box. The average black man and black woman are of the absolute opinion that the white man can do no wrong. We have lifted our slave master to the level of a divinity. The white man is a deity in black culture. The white man is a deity in black culture. Let's think about it. We want to dress like him, drive like him, walk like him. Anything he makes, we have to buy it. Anything he sells, we have to buy it. And the more expensive it is, the more we must buy it. Look at the gangster rap community. The gangster rap community is the modern day minstrel show of white civilization. The gangster rap community is the modern day minstrel show of white civilization. The gangster rap, whatever the white man sells, promotes, or values. Whatever the Caucasian sells, promotes, or values. Whatever the Caucasian sells, promotes, or values, the gangster rappers have to buy it. It don't matter how cheap it is, how unnecessary it is, how expensive it is. If the white man says this is important, this is something of value, these goofy ass gangster rappers are going to go buy it. Jonathan Majors, I'm disappointed in you. I'm not canceling you, my brother, but don't you ever get on another magazine with no pink jacket and no damn leggings. They got you looking like you naked. Don't do that, brother. Don't let them effeminize you. You are an alpha male, Jonathan Majors. You are on the cover of Ebony magazine. They got you looking very effeminate in that woman's outfit, those stiletto boots. Don't do that no more, brother. Jonathan Majors, they want to compromise your masculinity, brother, because you are a strong masculine man. Don't let them compromise your masculinity. Black men, we have to stop letting the power structure compromise our masculinity. We have to stop letting the power structure compromise our masculinity. And we have to also stop letting the power structure define our masculinity. Not only do they compromise black masculinity, They define black masculinity. What do I mean? They have defined black masculinity as being a good athlete, a good entertainer, a good military man, or a repeat offender. Also, sexual bedroom prowess. They have locked black men into a definition of masculinity. They have locked black men into a definition of masculinity that promotes reckless sexuality. These are the 5 archetypes of black masculinity created by the white power structure. Reckless sexuality. If you're recklessly sexual, you are masculine. Slave plantation images of black masculinity. Slave plantation images of black masculinity. Sexual recklessness. Sexual recklessness. Military sacrifice. If you go to the Army, the Navy, the Marine Corps, the Air Force, and you sacrifice your life, that's an archetype of black masculinity. Good football player, good basketball player, good baseball player, good MMA fight. In other words, if you're able to get your strength, your physical power exploited by white corporate America, that's a form of black masculinity. Look at that. To be exploited athletically is a form of black masculinity. Look at the contradiction. To be exploited athletically is a form of black masculinity. Look at the contradiction. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to hop off. I'm going to hop off right now. If you need to reach me, 215-989-9858. If you need to reach me, 215-989-9858. If you need to reach me by text message, 215-989-9858. Las Vegas, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Las Vegas, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Las Vegas, we got a lot to talk about tonight at the West Las Vegas Public Library. West Las Vegas Public Library, 7 p.m. We have to understand, overstand, and understand nothing changes until we change. We have to understand, overstand, and understand nothing changes until we change. We have to understand, overstand, and understand nothing changes until we change. Nothing changes until the consciousness of the African changes. Reparations ain't changing it. No new laws ain't changing it. Nothing's changing until we change the way we think. Change what we value. Change what we are willing to sacrifice. This is your big brother King Kong Consciousness. Hit the Cash App for Fdmg. Grand opening is coming in April or May. Grand opening is coming in April or May. Grand opening is coming in April or May. Just in Island of Guadeloupe. Island of Guadeloupe. Island of Guadeloupe. I will be in Guadeloupe for the first time for African Liberation Day, May 27th. Island of Guadeloupe. Where my Guadeloupe Africans at? Where my Guadeloupe Africans? I will be in Guadeloupe, African Liberation Day, May 27th. Southampton County, Virginia, Juneteenth on the 17th. Louisville, Kentucky, Juneteenth on the 18th. Atlanta, Georgia, Juneteenth on the 19th. This is your big brother King Kong Conscious.